Okay, good morning to all of you. I welcomes to all in our lecture series on nanomaterials and applications. This is your DSc paper, belongs to 6th semester, and in our last class we have been starts to discuss about synthesis of nanostructured materials. So there are various techniques are there through which we can synthesize the nanostructured materials. So these methods are broadly classified into two, that is your top down approach and bottom up approach. So about top down approach, these are the methods or techniques. All are techniques we have been discussed in our last class, and today we are going to be discuss bottom up approach. Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to be discuss up to this much spray pyrolysis, and rest of the three we are going to discuss in our next class. Okay, so in our last class we have been discussed in detail about what is top down and what is bottom up approach, and in case of top down approach what are the techniques, and for bottom up approach what are the techniques, and in case of top down these are the techniques are used to synthesize the nanostructure materials, photolithography, ball milling, and then sputtering, then thermal evaporation. All the things we have been discussed in detail. Okay, and then e-beam evaporation, and yes, here in case of e-beam evaporation I done a small mistake, that I told that the magnetic field direction will be inward the page of your paper or inward the screen of the computer, but actually it should be outward. How it will be, here I am going to explain, you just watch. See, this is the trajectory should be followed by these electrons, ejected electrons. If so, then these electrons is going to strike to the material and the material is going to be evaporated. So this should be the trajectory. Okay, so here I am going to explain, you just watch. So if we are going to consider a charge particle, that means your positive charge particle, and this is your magnetic field direction and this is your velocity direction, then force will be induced which will be directed towards this way. Okay, due to which the electron, sorry, the charge particle means here it is a positive charge particle. The positive charge particle is going to be move with a circular path whenever it enters into the magnetic field like this. Okay, in a circular path when it will be the positive charge particle, right? Carefully you have to watch this one. So now you can see, so what I explained, if this is the charge particle, then this is your magnetic field direction and this is your velocity direction, and this will be the force what I explained, that is your Fleming's left hand rule, and due to this rule the force will be in the direction inward direction, and the charge particle, the positive charge particle will be revolved like this. Okay, so this is your magnetic field direction, this is your, this middle finger represents the velocity direction, this thumb is going to represent your force direction. So here you can see, wait, see, if we are going to consider this one, concentrate over here, that we consider that magnetic field directed inward to the screen of the computer. Okay, that means this first finger is direction directed towards the inward, that means this is represents your magnetic field direction, this is your velocity direction, this will be the force. So here electrons are ejected in this way. So if we are going to consider this one or this direction, then what is going to happen? See, this is the velocity direction, this is the magnetic field direction, and this is the force direction. So you can say that, sorry, yes, it is correct, because magnetic field inward, this is your velocity direction, and this will be the force. So if force will be upward, then it will be in a circular path, and then it will strike. It is true only, this will be true only if the charge particle is positive. You got my point? If the charge particle will be positive, then the magnetic field, if the magnetic field we are going to consider the directed towards inward, then the trajectory or the path will be in this way, or the circular, and the charge particle or the so-called positive charge particle is going to be strike to the target. But however, we consider the negative charge particle, that are your electrons. That means force will be written as minus q v cross b, or we can write F equal to q into v b cross v, magnetic field cross velocity. So here you can see, now we are going to be change the direction of magnetic field, change the direction of magnetic field towards the outward. This was the inward, this is the direction, this represents that magnetic field directed outward to the screen of the computer. So here you can see, this is your first finger directed outward, this is the middle finger directed the velocity of the electron, and this will be the direction of your force, direction of your force. So now if we are going to consider this Fleming's left hand rule, that is your q into v cross b, then this is the v b, this is the velocity direction, this is magnetic field direction. So v cross b, the force will be downward. So now you are going to ask, if the force will be downward, sir, how you are telling that this will be the outward? See, if we are going to consider this formula, then the force will be directed this way. Now if we are going to consider charge particle is negative, then it will be q into b cross v, magnetic field cross v, cross velocity. So magnetic field direction is this way, and this is your velocity direction. So b cross v, b cross v means it will be direct which way? It will be directed towards the upward. The force direction will be upward, and hence it will be followed by the path, a circular path, and it will strike to the target. So for the electron, we have to consider the magnetic field will be outward, directed outward. So you just change the figure. This is the figure. I told that this figure you have to draw in your note, but here you have to just change. Instead of cross, you just put a plus sign which represents the magnetic field directed outward to the computer screen or your page of your note. Okay, now others are correct, no problem. Now this much already we have been discussed. Now we have to start to discuss bottom up approach. First one is your gas phase condensation. So this is your one of the bottom up approach, gas phase condensation. It is a very simple technique. What is happening that this is your chamber, there is two input valve are there, two input hole. Along this hole vapor is going to be input, and along this other reactants means precursors is going to be input inside this chamber, and the chamber is in a heat bath. That means heat is continuously given to this chamber. You just imagine, here I given vapor, and here if I am going to put some powder, suppose you just consider any powder I have to put through this valve, and this way some vapor I have been inserted, and here heat has been given. What is going to happen? The whatever the material I am going to be put along this way, all the material is going to be vaporized, right? So by this method, nanoparticles in powder form, that means your 3D structure particle only we can get by this method, are prepared by evaporation and condensation. So in this way, we first we have to evaporate the material whatever we are going to be insert through this valve. So through this valve we have to insert the precursor material. Precursor material means raw material, and this way we have to insert the vapor. So you just imagine you inserted some powder along this way, and this way you inserted vapor, and here heat has been given. So what will happen? Whatever the precursor or powder you are going to be insert, that powder is going to be vaporized or evaporated. So prepared by evaporation and condensation. So first it will be evaporated with the help of this input heat and input vapor, right? Then evaporation and then condensation in a subatomic, inert or reactive gas environment, that I am going to explain. Wait. So the generation of atomic clusters is achieved by evaporating the precursor material. Now what we done, along this way we have been inserted the powder form of raw material, along this way we have been given vapor, and with heat also given to this chamber. What is going to happen? The materials are going to be evaporated. The materials, first materials is going to be evaporated. When the materials is going to be evaporated, at the evaporated stage they are going to be contact with each other, they are going to be close with each other. The precursor material is going to be close with each other and forms atomic clusters. Atomic cluster means evaporated raw materials. Here in this way we have been inserted raw material in the powder format. So when the powder is going to be evaporated, the atoms of the raw material are going to be contact with each other and to form the atomic clusters. Atomic cluster means at a time we have to consider large number of atoms. Here you can see this is called the atomic clusters. These are called the atoms, and this will be called as the atomic cluster. Atomic cluster means at a point we have to consider large number of atoms, collectively they are joined together. Okay, that is called as your atomic cluster. So atomic clusters is going to be formed. So is achieved by evaporating the precursor material. The generation of atomic clusters by gas condensation. So the generation of atomic clusters is achieved by evaporating the precursor material. Now what will be the second step? The evaporated atoms and molecules undergoes a homogeneous condensation. So after creating the atomic clusters, the nucleation is going to be formed. Nucleation is going to be starts. But the nucleation is going to be starts when the condensation process is going to be happens. That means the evaporated atoms and molecules undergo a homogeneous condensation. So here you can see the growth. The growth means we have to consider the atomic clusters has been formed. Okay. Then these molecules or these atomic clusters is going to go with a homogeneous condensation to form atomic clusters through collisions with gas atoms and molecules in the environment of cold surface to condense on it and result in the formation of nanoparticles. See, this line no need to be right. Okay, this line no need to be right because it is creating somewhat confusion. So you just write this one. It is enough, no problem. The evaporated atoms. So when the atoms and molecules is going to be evaporated, those atoms and molecules undergo a homogeneous condensation, okay, to form atomic clusters through collisions with gas atoms or molecules. So when the raw material is going to be evaporated with the help of this vapor and heat, then those atoms and molecules is going to go for homogeneous condensation in the form of atomic clusters. That means they are going to form some atomic clusters in the evaporated stage. In the evaporated stage, the atomic clusters are going to be formed. How it will be formed? Due to the collisions with gas atoms and molecules. So through this, whatever the gas atoms or molecules we have been inserted, with the help of those atoms and molecules, the precursor materials forms atomic clusters. Okay. In the environment, at the meantime, the condensation starts. Vapors happens here. See here, reactant materials or precursor materials we have been inserted, vapor also inserted, the raw materials is going to be evaporated and suddenly condensed. It's going to be condensation, starts condensation. At the time of condensation, the atomic clusters means the raw materials and corresponding atoms and molecules is going to be formed, is going to be joined together at the time of condensation. Okay, so if it is so, condensation means it should be a cold environment, right? So condensation to form atomic clusters through collisions with gas atoms or molecules in the environment of cold surface to condense on it. So here we can consider these are the growths, means these are the so-called atomic clusters. And again, after some times, when the condensation, at the middle of the condensation, the nanoparticles are going to be formed, and then further condensation it will be collected by a plate. So here outside one plate will be there, or one crucible will be there, through which the particles is going to be collected. So here nucleation means, here one word, nucleation. Nucleation means starts to form desired material. So when the material has been evaporated, at the time after evaporation they are going to form atomic clusters. When they form atomic clusters, the nucleation starts, means at the time of atomic clusters the desired material formation starts. Desired material formation starts means the so-called nanoparticle of a particular material is going to be starts. That is called as your nucleation. So after fully condensation of the nanoparticles, it will be collected by outside of this chamber. So this is all about your gas phase condensation. Okay, next we have to go for the another one, chemical vapor deposition. See, with the help of the gas phase condensation, only 3D nanostructure particles, that means only powder form particles, we are going to be synthesized with the help of gas phase condensation. But here with the help of chemical vapor deposition, in short it is also called as CVD. Okay, this is a chemical process in which gaseous molecules are transformed into a solid material in the form of 0D, 1D, 2D, 3D nanostructure materials on the surface of the substrate. Okay, so here one thing I have to say to you that I have been forgot, that in case of bottom up approach, the nanomaterials is going to be formed from the atoms and molecules of the precursors. So by considering atoms and molecules of the precursor material or raw material, nanoparticles are to be formed. But in case of your top down approach, already material is present, we have to break. So it is in the bulk size, we have to break continuously, and we are going to be found the nano size particle. But in case of bottom up approach, the atoms and molecules, the precursor materials are there, and the precursor materials of the atoms and molecules is going to form the cluster, then it will form the nanoparticles. So this only for that it will be called as the bottom up approach. That means atomic size you just imagine, and nanoparticle size you just imagine. Atomic size in the angstrom length, and this will be in the nanoparticle length. That means from the bottom, from the lower to higher. If we are going to consider atom and molecules dimension and nanoparticle dimensions is larger than the atoms and molecules. But here already bulk size, and if we are going to compare bulk size material and nanoparticle materials are the smaller size, or bulk size material is the larger size. Okay, so only for that, top down already bigger size is there, and we are going to break and break and break, and we are going to be found the nanoparticles. But here bottom up means very low dimension or less dimension particles we have to use, or atoms or molecules we have to use, and then it will form the clusters, then it will form the nanoparticles. So only for that it is called the bottom up approach, from lower to some extent of dimension or nano dimension. Okay, from angstrom dimension to nano dimension, or you can say lower dimension to higher dimension. Here higher dimension to lower dimension. Okay, so these things we done here in case of gas phase condensation. Okay, in case of gas phase condensation we have been we discussed the same, because we consider the precursor materials in the atomic and molecular form, then we used vapor, then both atoms and molecules of the raw materials is vaporized, then formed at the time of condensation, they formed atomic clusters. Again, when the atomic clusters is going to be further condensation, nucleation starts, and we are going to collect the desired nanoparticles with a particular size. Okay, next we have to go for the chemical vapor deposition. This is also one of the bottom up approach. With the help of CVD, chemical vapor deposition, we can prepare 0D, 1D, 2D and 3D nanostructure material. This method is widely used because it is very important, and also you can say with the help of this method, quality of the nanomaterials we can enhance, or quality nanomaterials we can prepare with the help of this chemical vapor deposition, and also all the types of nanostructure material can be prepared with the help of this CVD. So uses of this CVD are in semiconductor industry to produce thin film, micro and nano fabrication such as carbon fibers, carbon filaments, carbon nanotubes, silicon oxide, silicon germanium tungsten, silicon nitride nanomaterials can be prepared by using CVD. And synthesis of nano diamonds also possible with the help of this method. So this is the bulk diagram of the CVD, that this is your vacuum chamber in which we have to give the gas flux with a particular proportion of raw materials, and that gas flux is going to be sit down on the surface of the substrate, and then this gas particles, so actually these are not the gas particles, these are the precursor particles in the solution form. So when these solutions contains the precursor atoms and molecules, when they are going to be sit down on this substrate, and those atoms and molecules are going to react with the substrate, and it will form the nano structure material. So detailed steps here I have been discussed. Carefully you have to watch. So CVD process, that means chemical vapor deposition processes consist of following steps. These are the simple steps through which we can found nano structure material with the help of CVD technique. See here gas, actually not gas flux, here the precursor solution is fluxed inside the chamber. So these are the atoms and molecules whatever fluxed through this valve. Okay, then what is going to happen? The predefined mixed reactant gases, predefined mix of reaction gases, or you can say reactant solutions, okay, and dilute inert gases. So here solutions contains reactant gases and the corresponding materials, and dilute inert gases are placed into the CVD chamber. So it is initially it is placed by the mass flow controller. Mass flow means flux. This is mass flow controller. This flux is nothing but called as your mass flow controller at a specific flow rate. With a specific flow rate, we have been injected what the mixture of reactant gases, precursor material, and dilute inert gases into the CVD chamber. Then what is going to happen? The gas species. The gas species means the it is the composite of, it is the solution of precursor material and inert gases. Okay, the gas species moves to the surface side. Here you just instead of gas you just write precursors, atoms and molecules. Precursor atoms and molecules. Gas, this is gas, in bracket you write this. See, whatever I have been fluxed through the inside this chamber, this is in gas form, but that gas contains all the precursor materials and dilute inert gas, etc. So gas, in bracket you have to write precursor material in the solution form here. Okay, and the gas or the precursor materials in the solution form, gas species means precursor material and dilute inert gas, reactant gas, all other mixed together and formed a gas phase, and that gas is going to be fluxed into the vacuum chamber. Then what is going to happen? The gas species move to the surface side. This gas molecules or precursor molecules is going to move towards the surface side. Surface side means this is your substrate. Okay, the reactant gets absorbed on the surface side. These are the reactants or the atoms and molecules is going to be absorbed on the surface of the substrate or on the surface side. Surface side means on the surface is going to be absorbed. So this is absorbed by the process of condensation. Then what will happen? Then after absorbed, reactants undergo chemical reactions with substrate to form nanostructure material. That means when they are going to be absorbed with this surface side, then the reactants undergo the chemical reaction or nucleation start. You can say the nucleation starts due to chemical reactions with these reactants and substrate. This is nothing but called as the starting of nucleation or the clusters, formation of the clusters. And the molecules which could not form the clusters, they will be move or migrate on this surface. They will be migrate. Okay, they will be migrate on this surface, and other materials are going to be, or other atoms and molecules are going to be react with each other and going to be form some other unwanted products. So the atoms and molecules which could not be react, those atoms and molecules are going to be move on this substrate, and the atoms and molecules which will be react and formed unwanted byproducts, those products, byproducts or unwanted products is going to be released by this valve, okay. So, and after nucleation we are going to be collect the so called nanostructure material. Okay, so called nanostructure material. Next, as chemical vapor deposition used to form 0D, 1D, 2D, 3D nanostructure materials, hence different methods or procedures are to be considered. So according to operating pressure, CVD classified as APCVD, atmospheric pressure CVD, LPCVD, low pressure CVD, UHCVD, ultra high vacuum CVD. That means The chamber maintain the atmospheric pressure will be called as FPCVD. The chamber maintains low pressure will be called as, if this chamber maintains low pressure will be called as LPCVD. Ultra high vacuum, if the chamber maintains very high vacuum, then that will be called as UHCVD, ultra high vacuum. According to physical characteristic, CVD classified as AACVD, that means aerosol assisted CVD. Here we have to use some gel like reactants, and we are going to be use through that gas nozzle, and we have to put inside the gas chamber. And DLI CVD, direct liquid injection CVD, the precursors or the materials or the raw materials will be in the liquid form, then it will be called as DLI CVD. MOCVD, metal organic CVD, when we are going to use metal and organic materials, then that will be called as MOCVD. According to source of energy, CVD classified as PECVD, plasma enhanced CVD, HFCVD, hot filament CVD, RTCVD, rapid thermal CVD. So here you can see that this is another electrode joined with positive voltage, and this substrate is joined with negative voltage. That means it has been, if we are going to increase the voltage in between these two electrodes, plasma can be formed, whatever we already discussed in our sputtering. You can check that video. Okay, so these are the abbreviations of different type of CVD. You just remember it. Short questions may be asked in your exam. What is the UHCVD? Short question that you have to write down, ultra high vacuum CVD. Next, come to the sol gel technique. So sol gel technique is a wet chemical synthesis which is used for the fabrication of colloidal dispersion of inorganic and organic hybrid materials. So first, with the help of this method, first a colloidal dispersion solution has to be prepared. So the diagram here you can see, in the beaker one solution is going to be rotate with the help of the magnetic stirrer. So this is the magnetic stirrer, and along with this is the hot plate. So if we have to put a solution on this, then with a particular temperature the solution is going to rotate. Then after some times we can say that the solution is homogeneously mixed. You can take an example that you have to take a water in the beaker and you just mix salt or sugar in that, and if we are going to be put on this magnetic stirrer, then after some times we can found the salt and water fully dissolved in that solution, in that water, and solution has been formed. So if I am going to be add more and more sugar, then after some times we can found a gel like solution. Okay, gel like solution we can found. So this is the method that we have to be considered to prepare the solution first. Okay, solution in the form of gel, So what are the precursors or raw materials we have to use? See, for to prepare the sol gel, here sol gel means solution in gel format. What are the raw materials? Raw materials we have to consider distilled water, nitric acid and metal nitrates. These are the main basic raw materials are to be used to prepare the solution. So this is the hot plate, and this is the stand, and this is the magnetic stirrer. So you have to draw this figure in your note. Okay, so after some times all the precursor or all the raw materials are going to be mixed homogeneously and formed a sol gel. Sol gel means solution in gel format. This is your prepared sol gel. Now this prepared sol gel is going to be used to form nanostructures by deep coating, by spin coating, by spray coating, that we are going to be discuss. So here preparation of solution in detail or the reaction in so the reaction through which the solution has been prepared, these are the steps you have to write down in your note. The colloidal gel here, colloidal gel we have to prepare. Colloidal gel, the colloidal gel is a mixture in which one microscopic substance or colloid substance, microscopic substance is called as colloid, is dispersed uniformly throughout the another substance, like this is dispersed. Or you just imagine the sugar is fully homogeneously mixed in the water, so sugar will be called as colloid. Sugar molecule will be called as colloid. And the precursors or raw materials used for synthesis, the colloidal gel is consist of metal ions and ligands means some organic material also are to be used, and which are surrounded by various species. That is a metal nitrate, what I told, metal alkoxide lens are most of the popular because they react radially with water, because these metal nitrates, metal alkoxide, alkoxide, so metal oxides and alkoxy alkanes are most popular to prepare the salt gel. Okay, because they are easily react with water molecule. So in general, salt gel formation occurs by following steps that you have to write down. That is your M dash OR plus OHOH. This reaction will be nothing but called as your hydrolysis. This is one of the example, SiOR H2O. When it will be react with water molecule, then it will form in this way. Then condensation with formation of the water, step 2. Same thing, this reaction and this reaction is the same, but here we have been considered one example. Then third step is this one. Okay, so here you can see the larger molecule has been formed by these 3 steps, and this molecule is nothing but is your gel solution. Okay, so now the prepared gel is going to be used to synthesized nanomaterials by different techniques. This is the deep coating technique, this is your spin coating technique, and spray coating. So here in your spin coating, so substrate is going to rotate with a high speed motor, and few drops is going to be put on the substrate, then it will be form a thin or thick film. So here you can see that we have to inject few drops on the substrate which is moving with a high speed motor, then the materials is going to be uniformly distributed over the surface of the substrate, and we are going to find out the thin or thick film. That is your spin coating technique. And deep coating means just you dip inside the solution and again take out from that solution, like this. Just dip it inside the solution. When it will dip, the solution will be attached on the surface of the substrate, and then you just take out from the solution. That is your deep coating. In this way also we can prepare 2D nanostructure material or thin films and thick films on the substrate. Now spray coating means just you spray the salt gel on a substrate, that's it. Here just spray over the substrate, and then that substrate after forming the film, then go for the annealing. Okay, so here by the method of spin coating, basically we can synthesize the thick film, but with the help of deep coating and spray coating we could not prepare thin film. We can prepare only thick film, but with the help of spin coating we can prepare thick film as well as thin film also. Okay, so after preparation of the film is going to go with a heat treatment or annealing. Annealing means heat treatment. So if we are going to be give see, after spray, after dip the substrate, after uh, done this way spin coating, then the films, thick or thin films, are going to go with annealing. That means we have to give a heat treatment to the film, then after we are going to get the desired material on the substrate. So annealing, after that annealing all the film, maybe spray coating, dip coating or spin coating, all the films going to go with a annealing or heat treatment of the film, then it will be form the required thick or thin film. Desired material we are going to be found after heat treatment. Okay, so then another method is your electro deposition. That is, this is also a bottom up approach. So electro deposition is a liquid based technique where an electric current is passed through a polar liquid by applying potential between two electrodes. Due to the application of electrical energy, the liquid breaks into the ions and other charged compounds, and these charged materials are deposited on the anode and substrate, anode or substrate. So here and there are two types of electro deposition process are there: electrophoretic deposition, that is your EPD; electrolytic deposition, that is your ELD. So in detail I am going to discuss, just wait. And the uses of this electro deposition are wear resistance, corrosion protection, lubricity improvement, thick ceramic film, etc. So advantages of ELD and EPD are low cost. This is a low cost technique. Uniformly deposition of film we can found by this method. Amount of material deposition can be controlled by controlling the number of charged particle transform. Used for nanoparticles, nanorods and nanowires. So first of all we are going to discuss the ELD. ELD means here we have to consider the solution inside a beaker. Basically polar solution, polar liquid we have to consider. That means suppose we are going to consider copper sulfate solution. Okay, so easily whenever we are going to be pass the electric current inside the solution, that solution is going to be easily break. It is similar, or this is also called as so called ELD, also not called as, also called as the electroplating also, right? Also it is called as the electroplating. So and always the film is going to be formed on the anode side. Okay, and cathode is your electrode or used material what is going to be coated on the substrate. So substrate will be always connected with the positive terminal and negative terminal will be connected with the electrode or the material what is going to be deposit. So this is the ELD. Here inside this for this ELD we have to consider the solution, the polar solution, polar liquid, what I told, that maybe copper sulfate or sodium chloride, like that. Now in case of EPD, instead of solution here used the suspension of ceramic particles are used, where ELD is based on the metal salt solution. So EPD process, in case of EPD, suspension of ceramic particles. So these particles are nothing but ceramic particles is is suspend suspended suspension. The ceramic particles which are homogeneously mixed, we are not going to be, we can say, we cannot say that it is mixed, it is just dispersed. Okay, it is dispersed but not mixed, we can say uniformly dispersed inside this solution, and whenever we are going to be pass the current, those ceramic particles are going to be deposit on the thin film. So this is the uh, method by which we can also found the thick ceramic films or thin ceramic films. Next, we have to go for the another method, that is your spray pyrolysis. This is a very simple technique. That spray pyrolysis is a solution in which, no, it is wrongly I have been written, this is a technique. Okay, spray pyrolysis is a technique, you just add technique, TECH. Okay, technique in which nanoparticles are directly deposited by spraying a solution on a heated surface. This is your heated surface which is placed in a chamber, vacuum chamber, and just we have to spray the solution on the substrate which is in the on the heater. Okay, spraying a solution on a heated surface where constituents react to form a chemical compound. Now when it will spray on the substrate, it will form a desired compound. It is somewhat similar with CBD. Okay, so it is a simple and cost effective method solution in which nanoparticles are directly deposited by spraying a solution through atomizer. Atomizer means this one. This is called the atomizer, through which the solution are going to be spray on the substrate. Okay, and the substrate is on a heater. Okay, so where the constituents reacts to form chemical compound. So when this constituents means the atoms and molecules which are inside this solution, they are going to be react with the substrate, and a film, a desired film is going to be synthesized. So various types of atomizer are there. Blast atomizer. In case of blast atomizer, the solution exposed to a stream of air. Okay, the solution is going to be exposed to a stream of air, that is will be called as the blast atomizer. Ultrasonic atomizer, in which method, this is the method, ultrasonic frequency used to fire of atomization of solution. So by using ultrasonic frequency, ultrasonic atomizer is going to be fire. So when it will flux the solution, at that time one fire will happen. Or you may just remember, when a gun is going to be fire, if fire the bullet somewhat, fire also can be visible. Okay, so here ultrasonic frequency has been used to fire the solution at the time of flux through this atomizer. Electrostatic atomizer, this is the method, solution, in this method solution exposed to a high electric field. So suppose we have to put the substrate, or we are going to connect this substrate to a potential, then the solution will be exposed to a high electric field. That in that way we can consider, if the substrate is going to be connected with a potential difference, or if the substrate will be placed in a potential difference, then the solution whatever we are going to be flux on the substrate, that will be exposed, that we can say that the solution will be exposed in the high electric field. And here the solution, a blast atomizer means the solution exposed to a stream of air. This is whatever here I have been shown the animation. This is belongs to your blast atomizer, means when the flux is coming out from the atomizer, it is looks like a stream of air. Okay, so these are the various atomizers can be used in your spray pyrolysis technique, and this is the low cost technique. Okay, it is a simple and cost effective solution in which solution you have to just remove, mistakenly I have been written, in which nanoparticles are directly deposited by spraying a solution through atomizer on a heated surface or substrate, where the constituents react to form the chemical compound. So this is all about the spray pyrolysis, and in our today class we have been completed up to this much. In next class we are going to discuss rest of the three. So here I am going to suggest to all of you that whatever we have been discussed and how much I have been written, you have to write that much in your note, also enough for your exam purposes, and draw these figures, corresponding figures. And this figure you have to draw for the sol gel technique or sol gel technique. For the sol gel technique, from here you have to write down this one, this figure you have to draw, these things you have to write, and this figure also you have to draw. Okay, and this is the animation slide. So then for electrode deposition, these things you have to write. First you write this one, then either you have to write this one, or then you have to write this, and at last you have to write uses as your wish, no problem. So this is your spray pyrolysis technique. And chemical vapor deposition also you have to write from here. Okay, and draw this figure, and then this figure also. Okay, and gas phase condensation, this much is enough, this much you have to write, and this figure you have to draw. Okay, so write down the note and ready for the next class. Thank you for watching. Thank you.